Between the miracle morning, health influencers waking up at 5 a.m., and even yogis and meditators waking up crazy early to start the day, if you don't wake up at 5 a.m., don't worry. There's nothing wrong with you, and this video is for you. Hello and welcome to, or welcome back to the Simply CA. My name is Alana, and on this channel you are going to find tools and tricks and information to help you live your fullest, most authentic life. We do this through human design lifestyle coaching, whole food plant-based nutrition, as well as yoga and fitness videos. If you enjoy this content, please remember to click on that subscribe button as well as the notification bell, and give any of the videos that you enjoy that little thumbs up so I know what content you really like. In today's human design lifestyle coaching video, we are going to be talking about morning routines, who they work for, who they don't work for, and overall, just to give yourself the permission to have the morning that works best for your unique energy. Stick around until the end of this video because I am going to be sharing with you how to create a morning routine that works for you. So morning routines start the night before. And we're going to start off this video quickly touching base on how each one of the energy types does best when it comes to getting ready for bed and sleeping. For generators, it is all about embodiment, being in your physical body. So the best way for a generator to have a good night's sleep is to ensure that they are using all of their physical energy throughout the day. So this means that generators need to be physically moving throughout the day. You might have a strong workout routine, you might have something that you enjoy doing, your job might be physically active, and if you are not, and if you are a generator, please make sure that you are adding physical movement to your day, especially during these COVID times when the general movement of our commutes in the day have disappeared. So make sure that you are specifically enhancing your movement throughout the day if you no longer have that physical commute. Manifestors will increase their quality of rest when they've been able to express their creativity throughout the day. So it's best for a manifestor to get to that point before they go to bed where they feel content with their creative expressions or where they are in whatever it is that's currently exciting and sparking them. As a combination of those two previous energy types, the manifesting generators have that same need to physically express throughout the day, to wear down their energy, their physical energy, and at the same time, better quality of sleep is had when a manifesting generator has experienced mental stimulation throughout the day. Otherwise, the brain might get a little bit rampant at night and it might be really challenging to get restful sleep. So exhausting yourself for all three of those energy types is really important. Now, projectors actually do better for getting restful sleep when they have time to unwind, to slough off the energy of others around them that they've picked up throughout the day. It's best for projectors to have a really strong evening and bedtime hygiene that removes them from external stimulation, whether that be from other people or even social media or television. And the same thing can be said for reflectors. It's really important for those who have more open centers. So even if you have a lot of open centers as a generator or as a manifestor or even as a manifesting generator, it's essentially the more open centers that you have, the more it really works for you to have that time at the end of your day before you try to fall asleep to remove yourself from the energy of others. As well, those with a lot of open centers, again, specifically those projectors and reflectors, it's important to have space in bed while you're sleeping away from another person's energy. This means that if you have a significant other, maybe you go to bed before them, or maybe you stay in bed after they've already gotten up for the day. Those ways make it easier in confined spaces, or if you really enjoy sleeping with your partner, it's okay to sleep separately, of course. And the reality is, most of us live in spaces where we don't have the space for each one of us to have our own room. So it's okay if you just have your own quiet time before or after your partner gets into or out of bed. So now that we've looked at the sleep portion as well as a little bit of energy type information, let's take a look at what happens when you wake up in the morning and why morning routines, especially those that start off at 4 or 5 a.m., work really well for some people and really don't work for others. And we're going to start off the morning routine talking about those 2 arrows on the left side of your chart. These 2 variables tell us a lot about how our energy gets going and is supported by the environment around us. Not only does the top left arrow tell us about our digestion, our ingestion, but it also tells us about how our relationship interacts with consistency. So for those with a top left arrow that points to the left, you thrive in routine. You thrive in consistency. You thrive when you don't have to make decisions. You know what you're going to be doing and when you're going to be doing it. That top left arrow speaking to the digestion quality also means that when you wake up in the morning, your digestive fire is more likely to be ready and accepting of food. You're a more active digestion. So that means that waking up in the morning and getting moving is fueled by that digestive fire. Whether you eat very first thing or not, you'll likely want to eat pretty quickly, but you still have that chakra fire that comes with the digestive fire of waking up and getting moving. For those who have a top left arrow that points to the right, that digestive fire isn't as immediate or isn't as imminent. It doesn't spark you first thing in the morning. Not to mention that those with more right-facing arrows have a tendency to be overall more passive and go with the flow in their energy pattern. And this means that we might be a little bit slower to get up and moving in the morning. Not to mention that different mornings might look different for you. Having a consistent, set, regimented routine, maybe not your top priority. And then we get to the bottom left arrow. And this arrow talks about our relationship with discipline as well as our immediate environment. So for those with a bottom left arrow that points to the left, having that structured, known, decluttered, and more planned environment allows you to enjoy your routines and to be more consistent. You're not dealing with decision fatigue first thing in the morning when you've got that structured, planned out expectation of what you're getting yourself up to and into in the day. As a small example, there was a moment in time when I was actually attending 6:30 a.m. yoga classes. And I found that what worked best for me was ensuring that absolutely everything was ready to go, packed up, so that I didn't have to think about anything when I was getting up and going in the morning. That meant my bag was sitting at the door, my yoga mat was in the car, and my lunch for the day was packed up in the fridge, ready to go. Now, for those of you who have a bottom left arrow that points to the right, you thrive in and enjoy the freedom that comes with an unplanned, unstructured environment. The spontaneous nature that you naturally have does best when you wake up in the morning and check in with yourself. Check in with your energy, check in with your mental state, check in with your body, and give yourself the permission to do what feels correct for you in that moment. I'm going to give you another example in just a moment here, but next up we're going to quickly touch on one of the gates. And the gate that we're going to talk about is gate number 5. Gate 5 is based in the sacral, and gate 5 is the natural sense of rhythms and rituals. So for those with a defined gate 5, which means that it's colored in, you might find yourself more drawn to having patterns, rhythms, and rituals throughout your life. So as an example, I'm a bit of a mishmash of all of these qualities. My top left arrow points to the right, which means I am more passive in my digestion. My bottom left arrow points to the left, which means that I actually rather prefer to have a somewhat structured environment. And I have a defined both by design and by personality, so conscious and unconscious, gate 5. And so how this plays out for me is when we went into COVID times and we started working from home, I became acutely aware of the need to still have and maintain some structure in my morning. I give myself an hour to do my entire morning routine before I start work at 9 a.m. And so my morning routine means that I have my shower, I put on my makeup, I get my coffee prepared, and then I go out for a walk. After my walk, I come home, open up my computer, and sit down with my coffee to get my day, my work day, going. For me, having that defined gate 5 as well as the left-facing bottom left arrow, it's important to have a quality of routine. That said, all my other arrows point to the right, and that means that I still have to give myself the permission to have flexibility. So I know I'm prepared for a routine, and yet I also check in with myself and I test out, do I feel like waking up and getting out of bed a little quicker and having a moment for meditation? Is today a day that I feel like I want some hot lemon and honey, or is today a day that I consistently move through that other routine? There is still some flexibility, and that's what I personally need. And that's not the case for everyone. So let me know down in the comment section, what does your chart look like, your 2 left arrows as well as gate 5? And how does that and this conversation trigger and impact how you see your morning routine going? As always, what is most important for me in sharing this information is to give you the information so that you can know yourself better. You can better understand your own energy patterns, how your energy best works, so that you can make your unique, fullest impact on the world around you. You can show up as the most authentic and true you that you actually are, and you feel confident in being who you are and not playing into what somebody else says is the perfect morning routine. And so let's finish up this video by taking a look at someone who has their arrows pointing to the right and an undefined gate 5. So the least routine person that we can touch on based on these specific variables that we've talked about. So for that person, the best thing they can do is to wake up without an alarm clock. Now, I recognize that that is not possible for all of us, and that the modern world creates an environment where we have to sometimes get up when it's not ideal for us. So the workaround that I can come up with for that, and let me know, share in the comments below how you handle this in your natural rhythms, but the workaround that I came up with for this is if you use one of those sleep cycle apps and you allow the app to wake you up when you're at that optimum point of your sleep cycle. So it's not a hard and fast 6 a.m. or 9 a.m. It's as close to your sleep rhythm as you can get in that time frame. Now, once you're awake, you might have a list of things that you enjoy doing first thing in the morning or as you're getting ready for your day, or you might actually just do whatever. If you have a defined sacral, I do suggest having a list of things that you can ask yourself yes, no to. But if you have an undefined sacral, go ahead and ask yourself an open-ended question. Something like, what would feel good for me this morning? So give yourself a moment when you've woken up in bed where you can check in with yourself and test out what feels right for your energy in this moment. And most importantly, the key to success for a successful morning routine, especially for those of you who have right-facing arrows and an undefined gate 5, your key to having a successful morning routine is to give yourself permission to have a non-routine. Acknowledge that every day is going to be different. And be kind with yourself. Give yourself the permission to go with the flow of your energy. Not having a routine is your routine. Not having a routine gives you the space to move with your whims and do what you need to do or what you want to do or what sparks you in that moment. And that is exactly the key to your energy. Not having a routine, not imposing a routine upon yourself is exactly what creates the space for your energy to move and flow in the ways that really creates an abundance of possibilities for you to create and bring into the world. So for everyone, whether you have elements in your chart that create a desire for a more structured morning routine, whether you have elements in your chart that say that waking up really early and getting moving and being energetic first thing in the morning works for you, or whether you have a more go with the flow or a slower start to your morning. No matter what, give yourself the permission to move with your natural energy patterns. Give yourself the autonomy and the authority to create that structure or non-structure that works best for you. If you want to know more about your unique human design, you can click on the link that's in the description box to work with me, either a one-off human design reading or ongoing human design lifestyle coaching. If you want to know more about the variables, I will link that for you. And if you enjoy this content, please remember to give it a thumbs up, click on that subscribe button and the notification bell, and I will see you in the next video.